Welcome to a deep dive into the fascinating world of operant conditioning, a core concept in psychology. We'll explore how rewards and punishments shape behavior. Operant conditioning is a type of learning where behavior is strengthened if followed by a reinforcer or diminished if followed by a punisher. At its heart, operant conditioning revolves around voluntary behaviors and the consequences that follow them. These consequences determine whether a behavior will be repeated or not. The two main components we'll discuss are reinforcement, which increases a behavior, and punishment, which decreases a behavior. We'll also look at the types of stimuli used: pleasant, which we seek, and aversive, which we avoid. Positive reinforcement involves adding a desirable stimulus to increase a behavior. Think of giving a dog a treat for sitting. You add the treat, and the dog is more likely to sit again. Negative reinforcement means removing an aversive stimulus to increase a behavior. For instance, buckling your seatbelt to stop the annoying car beeping is negative reinforcement. You remove the beeping, and you're more likely to buckle up next time. Positive punishment involves adding an aversive stimulus to decrease a behavior. An example is adding extra chores for misbehavior, making the child less likely to repeat the misbehavior. Negative punishment means removing a desirable stimulus to decrease a behavior. Taking away privileges like screen time for misbehavior is a classic example. Removing something desired makes the behavior less likely. How often and when reinforcement is delivered also plays a huge role. Different schedules of reinforcement can lead to varying rates and persistence of behaviors. Operant conditioning isn't just theory. It's seen in animal training, educational settings, and even in workplace dynamics to shape desired behaviors. Understanding operant conditioning helps us see how consequences profoundly influence behavior, offering powerful tools for learning and change. We'll explore the key principles and applications of shaping, chaining, and various reinforcement schedules. First, let's delve into the fascinating concept of shaping. Shaping is a method of training by which successive approximations toward a target behavior are reinforced. Think of it as building a behavior step by step, reinforcing each small movement in the right direction. Examples include teaching a dog to roll over, a child to tie their shoes, or even a student to speak a new language. Next, we have chaining, which involves linking together a sequence of behaviors. Chaining combines individual learned behaviors into a complex sequence, where each step serves as a cue for the next. Forward chaining teaches from the beginning, while backward chaining teaches from the end, which can be particularly effective for complex tasks. Chaining is used in teaching complex skills like cooking, playing an instrument, or completing a complicated assembly task. Hello, everyone. Today, we're diving into a core concept in psychology: schedules of reinforcement within operant conditioning. First, let's set the stage with a quick introduction to operant conditioning itself. Operant conditioning is a learning process where behavior is shaped by consequences. It's about how we learn to associate our actions with rewards or punishments. Reinforcement is key in operant conditioning. It's any event that strengthens or increases the behavior it follows. Think of it as the "what's in it for me" that drives our actions. Our first schedule is continuous reinforcement, the simplest form of reinforcement. In continuous reinforcement, every single time a desired behavior occurs, it is reinforced. This schedule is best for teaching a new behavior quickly. Imagine training a dog to sit. Every time your dog sits on command, you give it a treat. This constant reward helps the dog learn the trick fast. Next, we have the fixed interval schedule, where reinforcement is tied to time. With a fixed interval schedule, reinforcement is given after a specific amount of time has passed, provided the behavior has occurred at least once. Think about your weekly psychology quizzes. You know the quiz is every Friday, so you might only study intensely right before the quiz, leading to a burst of activity as the deadline approaches. Now let's explore the variable interval schedule, which is less predictable. In a variable interval schedule, reinforcement is provided after unpredictable amounts of time have passed. This leads to a more consistent rate of response. Consider checking your email. You never know when you'll receive a new message, so you check it periodically throughout the day, not just at specific times. Finally, we have the fixed ratio schedule, where reinforcement depends on the number of responses. Under a fixed ratio schedule, reinforcement is given after a set number of responses. This schedule tends to produce a high and steady rate of response. Imagine working on an assembly line where you get paid for every 10 products you assemble. This motivates you to produce as many items as possible to earn more. So we've covered the main schedules of reinforcement. we've learned about continuous, fixed interval, variable interval, and fixed ratio schedules. Understanding these schedules is crucial for comprehending how behaviors are learned, maintained, and extinguished in various contexts, from education to therapy. Thanks for watching.